friends, and welcome to my home. So you can kind of really see it in the background here. It's not very big. The reason I thought I would film a sort of home tour today for you is kind of two reasons. One is because I've had quite a lot of questions on my Instagram from people being like, where do you live? Do you live on a boat? Like, really? What? And it is a little bit confusing. So I thought first this would be a good opportunity to kind of show you where I live and how it works and stuff like this. The other reason is that I do take great pride and joy in my home. I've always had this. I've inherited it from my mum. I just find it really important that my home is a really comfortable, happy place. And even in small spaces where I've lived temporarily, I've always unpacked everything. I'm always completely unpacked. I always make sure everything has a place and just make it the nicest space possible, because I think it's worth the extra effort even if you're there for a short amount of time. So just to explain to you a little bit why I'm here, where I live, how it works, etc. So I'm Dutch. I have completely Dutch parents and family, but I've lived in the UK for an extended period of time now, and only in October sort of time last year did I move back here for family reasons, back to the Netherlands. So I'm currently in the Netherlands. It's only for a year, and so this is a houseboat I'm currently on. This is my parents' houseboat. It is like a family summery home type thing. It has a very long history in our families, which I won't bore you with, but it's a very special place in all of our hearts. So I do live here by myself. I do also have a cat, which you'll probably see later. But yes, this is a temporary home for me. It's just for a year, but it's honestly the most wonderful place to live. So what do I mean when I say a houseboat? Because I think Dutch houseboats are very different than a lot of houseboats in other places. For example, I know that in the UK they have narrow boats, and as you can probably see, this is nothing like it. So this is a little bit like a floating bungalow. It is just a floating on a concrete block. So it is floating. It can't move on its own though, so it can't decide to go anywhere. It doesn't have a motor or anything like this, so it would need to be pulled unless like the tide took it. But it is chained in and surrounded by decking. So I am floating. For example, we had a lot of storms in February, and for the whole month I was like, what the hell is wrong with my balance? Like, I kept like falling over, maybe when like brushing my teeth and slightly losing my balance, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm on a boat. And so you do go up and down a bit. So yeah, it's just a small space. It's not the smallest I've lived in. I've lived in less than 20 square meters before by myself, and I absolutely love that flat. But yeah, so this is quite spacious to me, more than enough space, and I'm really excited to show it to you. I had to kind of make do with what I had and what was already here. I think my mum has great style. So it wasn't too bad, but you'll see that some things I changed around. So let me show you. Alright, so to start with the tour, this is the front door of the boat, and as you can see here, this is the outside. So that way is where you come walking in, and then that way is the water, and there's decking all alongside here, but we are floating. This is a shed, super useful. Quite a funny story actually. In my family we often call this shed a garage, which is ridiculous because it clearly is a shed, and my parents at their house have a massive garage and we call that the shed. So there's no logic in that whatsoever. But yeah, when you come in the front door, you kind of have a hallway on both sides. So you're kind of in the middle of the hallway. We're going to start on this side. So just have hooks there to hang up some keys and things when you come in. Around here, you really need stuff like this on your keychain, so that if you do drop them in the water, you haven't lost your house keys. Really useful. Just got a place to hang my coats and things and some shoes, and then we'll go into the bathroom first. So this is a view of the bathroom. It's a really lovely large size, especially for the boat. Hi. Yeah, so this is a really lovely large size. My parents did quite a lot of bits to the boat. There were some windows in some awkward places. They added in another extra room, which was originally my room to sleep in, but is now like a little study for me. But the bathroom is basically as it was when they bought the boat, and it's just really funny that it's this size for like the size of the boat, but I'm not complaining. So this is just like the sink area, and I have some dirty washing down there. My lovely alchemy serum. If you don't know, this produced by Moon and Rock, my ring is from there as well. It is honestly the best, so I'll link that below, I think, because everyone should use that, and that is the only thing I use. I don't use like anything else. It's a skin serum, by the way. And then here's just the back of the door, and you've got some shelving, and then a washing machine down there. Useful. And then just a shower cubicle and a little toilet. I don't know. And then this is from a beach in Hawaii that I took. I found it, and I was in Hawaii last year, and it was the most amazing trip I took. So I love just having that there. This chair I found on the side of the street back in England. It's quite funny because I only took like a couple of pieces of furniture with me, and I decided to bring this chair you can't even sit on because you fall through, but I just love it. I love the colour. It's such like a pretty green in my opinion. And then this dresser was already here, and I just keep like a drying rack from IKEA back there, and some art I made, and my parents actually got it framed, which was really nice of them. And I just keep like little trinkets. And actually this is the extent of my jewellery collection. And then that ring, and I've got, can you see it, an ankle bracelet, and that is what I own. And I quite like this oil too, but that's like for your body. The only other body oil I own. Just one of everything. It makes it simple. And I think my mum found this secondhand once. That's really nice. And then you come out, and this is the bedroom. So that is the very back wall of the boat. This bed I believe is from IKEA, really simple, and it is like 160 centimeters wide and 2 meters long, so it's quite a big bed for example UK standards. It's not for the Netherlands. This is the view of the other side. I need to hang up that plant properly, but there was already a nail in that wall, so it does the job for now. And my parents built these wardrobes themselves, and I know that that was found on the side of the street as well by my mum. And isn't it just like the prettiest thing ever? I love it. And then we have another little mirror, and I actually sleep on the other side of the bed. Really cozy and comfy. I had this little rug just for like the winter, because the floor gets really cold, because it's basically, there's just a little bit of a concrete like container at the bottom, and then it's this floor and water, so it gets quite cold. And I'm reading this fantasy book lent to me by a friend, and I feel like such a teenage boy, I have to say, but it's quite enjoyable. I have this lovely pink Himalayan salt lamp, which I also have in the bathroom, and I love that because it just makes it a lot easier to go to sleep. This is a lovely deck, by the way, of cards by Layla and Olive, I believe. And then I just have some lavender oil, but oh, my diffuser's going. I also have this Better You Magnesium oil spray in the Good Night version, and I love those. I just love spraying something on the bottom of my feet before I go to bed. I do also have this Nourish serum from Moon and Rock, just a couple of crystals and a print I made. So yeah, I really like my bedroom space. It just feels very tranquil to me. So this is the hallway. So we're at the back end of the house now, and this is what you look at. This is the other piece of furniture I bought. This is from a shop off of Etsy, and it's sort of a real antique dresser. I absolutely love it. And I have some art up here, which I got in Nourish just before I left. A really dear friend bought it for me, by the way, and I love it. And this is an antique clock, which currently isn't working and is missing two of these. But then opposite of this dresser is my study, which used to be like my space to sleep. Second-hand desk chair, just plain desk that my parents had. And I've put some art on the wall, some project things. I found this years ago somewhere in France, and I think someone made it like in a canyon, and it just looks like a fish to me, which I thought was perfect to have here. And then this piece of art my grandfather's brother made, and it's of this houseboat, and I think it's lovely. A crystal hanging I made ages ago with some crystals I had lying around. This is art of Etsy. But yeah, I love sitting here and working, and I just have really useful storage on this side, everything I would need to keep. And then I have one of these massive cork boards with lots of lovely memories, which it's really nice to have that and to look back on little things like, look at my rats. They are adorable. I used to have rats. Don't tell me they're not cute. They are. They definitely are cute. Oh, here, there is me years ago with a rat in my shoulder. This is my mum and me, and then when my parents got married. Just lovely to have like those memories and stuff. I used to live in Sweden, and this is their graduation. So it's called Studenten, and this is the flog that you go on, and everyone who graduates from like high school or A-levels or whatever you want to call it, that kind of age when you're 18, you go on these massive trucks and you just party, and you all dress in white, and you all put on these like sailor hats, and you drive through the city or town that you live in. And because there's so many students graduating for like 3 weeks during the summer, you just see these vlogs everywhere with people having fantastic times. It was really nice. And then over here, this is like storage space. Keep my sewing machine here, tools, games, all my BU stuff, and some electronics, and a cat. Hi, this is Artis. Do you want to say hi, sausage? Man, my camera doesn't even want to focus on you anyway. Hi. Oh, big yawn. Oh, I see how it is. You're up for a cuddle, aren't you? Let me turn back out, and basically then this is the rest of the living space. So the first little bit is a kitchen. Ignore the massive bread making machine. I'm going to be baking some bread soon. I absolutely love this kitchen, and I love the shelving. I just have a dining table here. This dining table is from IKEA, but I got it secondhand. It's actually the funniest story how that went. So basically I went into the second-hand shop and I saw this table and I was like, fantastic, but the pricing on it was like 95 euros, and I thought, well, that's quite expensive. And then I looked it up on the IKEA website. It's like on 120 pounds new, 120 euros new. So it's like, well, that's not quite reasonable. So I asked the store guy over, and I said, I really like this table, but it's just a little bit too expensive for me. And I told him about the price, and he was like, oh, okay, I'll see what I can do. What did you have in mind? And I said, well, I thought sort of 50 euros, which I thought was like, I mean, that's nearly half price. Anyway, I was like, oh, well, I'll see what I can do. And he went away, and then he came back and he was like, you can have it for 45 euros. And I was like, what? Just, do you know how this works? Like, I said 50 and now you're going lower. It's really funny, but I'm so thankful because I really like this table, and I'll definitely bring it back with me to the UK when I move back at the end of this year, and replace it with the table that I have there, which I like a lot less and was kind of like a hand-me-down as well. The table here and all the chairs were already here by my parents, and this rug I got from my parents as well, but I've had it for years now. And yeah, like I said, I just have lovely shelves up here with all my jars and things. I have this tiny little, what's it called again? a little kitchen machine. That can't be right. You know what I mean. It's not a blender, it's the other thing. It's the perfect size because it can live just on my counter and not take up so much space. I got this for £5 on Gumtree, I believe. It's like a second-hand online place in the UK. Just lovely. I make all my hummus and things in it. I would definitely recommend looking at a second-hand like online website before purchasing something like that yourself. And then I use like an old school kettle, and these mugs my mum's friend made. She's just so lovely. I've got 4 of them. She made that one as well. And then those are 2 handmade mugs as well. One that I bought myself from a shop where I used to live, and then this one I got from a good friend. And I just have lots of herbs and things up there. My fridge has my cycle map on it, my little chart that I made as part of the cycle alignment course I did with a company called Spirit Woman with Liana and Ashley, and I'm actually co-teaching their course now, which is just like amazing. And I made these little herb bundles back at the end of the summer last year, and they're perfect to burn. You can burn them like smudge, or if you're making your own stock, you just pop this in and it's fantastic. You have all the herbs you want. Got some plants, and then I do have a like wood burner stove, which I absolutely love. This is a print from my dad, who's a comic book collector, and he sort of gave that to me to hang up. This is bay leaves from a friend's garden. And then this is a statue that my aunt made, and I think she's just so gorgeous. This was the first time she did this. Can you believe that? How stunning is she? I feel like she's just quite magical, Brie. She actually reminds me a little bit of a friend I have, who I kind of refer to as a fairy, but yes, I really love her. A bookshelf that I got from a friend who was getting rid of it. I think it's really useful, so I just keep all my books here and all my DVDs, because I don't really have internet here, so I do watch a lot of DVDs and stuff and series. Secondhand stores are fantastic for that. And this is a computer, and I've plopped it here because it makes a great TV, and I have a laptop, so I was just kind of not using it for anything. I was like, it would make a fantastic TV. Got plants, some knitting projects. This is a chair I brought as well from England with me, and I made this blanket, which is just my pride and joy. I know this isn't like massively huge knitting skills, but I'm so proud of it anyway. And then this used to be my bed, and I've just put it in this room. It's like a day couch now, and it's super comfortable. And just some secondhand prints, and I store lots of stuff underneath. And then you've just got massive big windows, which is so lovely. And as you can see, it actually has like some netting hanging in front of it, and that's just because, I mean, right above me is a flat roof in black. And this place has a lot of windows, if you haven't seen already. So if it's sunny, it is hot in here. It doesn't even need to be warm outside. It is hot in here. So you need that door open quite a lot. And this is only the start. It's April, it's not even that warm yet. This is a slightly wonky made bridges cross I made ages ago. This is my view, and honestly, I thank all the heavens every single day that I get to live here, especially now in quarantine. It's so nice to have an outside. I just have like my plants and plants there, and a table, and I've been swimming. Just have grass and just this lovely space, and you can see here the boat from the outside. But yes, I feel very, very blessed to live here. So I very much hope you enjoyed that tour of my house, and that you can kind of see what I mean in terms of living on a boat and it being more like a bungalow, but I am floating I hope it maybe gives you some inspiration of where to get some stuff from, or just like how you want to decorate or things like that, because I personally love getting inspiration, and I take a lot of pride and a lot of enjoyment out of decorating my home, and I feel so comfortable in this space, and that has been really important because moving to a new place is quite challenging. And I hope you can see as well from doing this that all of the stuff that is here, it's not like I went out and spent loads of money on it. The only thing I actually purchased that costs quite a lot of money is the dresser, like the chest of drawers. It's just deciding, I think, what to spend your money on and what matters, and second-hand shops are fantastic and you can do quite a lot yourself, and that's quite nice. I know that I'm quite lucky because it's a lovely canvas to work with, and a lot of the stuff my parents left in here furniture wise was already quite nice, but I just think there's a lot that you can do. Like my day bed is just lots of pillows with white covers, like bed pillows that we just had lying around, and I think it ends up looking quite nice. So hope you got some inspiration from my house. Thanks for watching. Bye.